Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today, we're diving into a world that's a little darker, a little more mysterious, but incredibly enchanting. Angela, I am so excited to talk about this because it's right up our alley.
Joanna, you read my mind. When you mentioned Ava Mixon's Gothic Enchantment coloring book, my eyes immediately lit up. As someone who loves dark fantasy and, let's be honest, needs a creative escape, this book it called to me. It's not your typical relaxing landscapes kind of coloring book, is it?
Absolutely not. And that's precisely what makes it so appealing, I think. We're talking about a colouring book for adults that promises to immerse you in a world where shadows dance and ancient mysteries unfold. I mean, just the title, Gothic Enchantment. Dark fantasy, adult colouring book with haunting castles and mysterious creatures. It just paints such a vivid picture before you even open it.
It truly does. And the reality lives up to the promise. It's a journey, really, into this realm of Gothic beauty. You get these incredibly intricate designs, right? And they're not just pretty patterns, they're scenes. They're stories waiting for you to bring them to life with color. I found myself getting lost in the details almost immediately.
Right? It's not just a collection of images, it feels cohesive, like there's a whole universe in there. And the focus on hauntingly beautiful castles and enchanting, mysterious creatures, that's where it really hooks me. I love that blend of the architectural and the fantastical. It really speaks to that part of us that loves old myths and legends, but with a shadowy twist.
Oh, absolutely. And the creatures aren't just your typical fantasy fare. They feel primal, ancient. Some are clearly mythical beasts, but Ava Mixon has infused them with this unique sense of mystery. You look at them and you wonder, what's their story? Are they benevolent guardians or something more sinister lurking in the shadows? That ambiguity is just brilliant for inspiring creativity.
Exactly. It's not just about colouring within the lines, it's about interpreting the mood, the narrative. You're almost co-creating with Ava, you know? And the landscapes too, they're not just backdrops, they're mysterious landscapes that draw you in. I imagine mist-shrouded forests, crumbling ruins under a blood-red moon. It's all there, hinted at in the line art.
That's it, the atmosphere is palpable. And for someone like me who sometimes struggles to just create from scratch, having these incredibly detailed foundations to work from is such a gift. It sparks ideas. You pick up a purple for a stormy sky or a deep crimson for a dragon's eye, and suddenly you're not just coloring, you're painting a narrative.
And I think that's why it appeals so much to those of us who appreciate the allure of the macabre and the magic of the unknown, as the description puts it. It's not trying to be cheerful or light. It embraces the dark, the mysterious, the things that often get overlooked in mainstream art therapy. And honestly, for some people, diving into those darker themes is incredibly therapeutic.
It really is. There's a certain solace in the shadows, isn't there? Life isn't always bright and sunny, and sometimes you need an outlet that acknowledges that complexity. This book does that beautifully. It allows you to explore those aesthetic preferences without judgment and in a way that's incredibly engaging and relaxing.
Let's talk about the stress relief aspect, because that's a huge selling point for adult colouring books. How does Gothic Enchantment deliver on that, especially with its darker themes? You might think something dark would be less relaxing, but I find the opposite is often true.
You hit on a great point, Joanna. For me, the intricate details are key. When you're focusing on shading a tiny gargoyle on a castle turret or giving texture to a dragon's scale, your mind doesn't have room for anything else. All those anxieties and worries just fade away. It's a deep form of mindfulness. And because the themes are so rich, it pulls you in completely, so you're not just passively coloring, you're actively creating and exploring.
It's like a focused meditation, isn't it? You're not trying to empty your mind, you're filling it with something beautiful and captivating, and that pushes out the noise. And the artistic expression side of it, I feel like with a book like this, you're not just colouring, you're doing something more akin to painting. The designs are so sophisticated.
Exactly, you're making choices. What colors will define this creature's mood? Will the castle be bathed in moonlight or an eerie twilight glow? You have so much creative freedom despite the detailed line work. And the fact that they've made sure it has single-sided pages is such a thoughtful touch, you know? It means you can use markers or heavier mediums without worrying about bleed-through, which is a common frustration with other coloring books.
That's a game changer. Honestly, nothing's worse than spending an hour on a beautiful illustration only to have it ruined by marks on the next page. That tells me Ava Mixon and her team really understand the colouring community and what makes for a quality experience. It's those little details that elevate a product from good to fantastic.
Absolutely, it shows respect for the artist using the book, and the paper quality itself feels really good too. It can hold up to layers of colored pencil, or even a light touch of watercolor if you're careful, which just expands the possibilities for creative expression even further. You're not limited to just one approach.
So how diverse are the illustrations, would you say? Are we talking about a lot of variations on the same theme, or does it really offer a broad spectrum of Gothic enchantment?
It's wonderfully diverse. You get everything from grand, sprawling castle exteriors, some looking like they've been untouched for centuries, others still seemingly alive with dark magic, to intimate portraits of these fantastical beings. There are scenes depicting mysterious landscapes, like dense, ancient forests with twisted trees or forgotten ruins shrouded in fog. Then you have individual creatures, some looking fierce, some regal, some melancholic. Each page feels like a fresh adventure.
That sounds fantastic. So it's not just for people who are already deep into Gothic fiction, but also for anyone who just appreciates beautiful, intricate art and wants a unique way to relax and be creative?
Absolutely. I mean, yes, if you love dark fantasy, you'll be in heaven. But even if you're just looking for a coloring book that challenges you a bit more, that offers more depth and a more unique aesthetic than the usual, this is it. It's skillfully crafted to transport you, and honestly, it does. You really do feel like you're stepping into another world when you open it.
It's that escapism, right? Sometimes you just need to unplug from reality, and what better way than to dive headfirst into a world of haunting castles and mythical beasts? It sounds like a fantastic way to unwind after a long day, or even to spend a focused, creative weekend afternoon.
Precisely, and I think there's something really powerful about engaging with art that has this slightly darker edge. It's not about being morbid, but about appreciating beauty in all its forms, even those that might be considered unconventional. It allows for a different kind of emotional exploration through color.
I can totally see that. It's almost like embracing the shadow side of creativity. We're so often told to be bright and cheerful, but there's so much richness and depth in exploring the mysterious. It taps into a different kind of imagination.
Exactly. And Ava Mixon has done such an incredible job of making these designs both challenging and rewarding. They're intricate enough that you feel a real sense of accomplishment when you finish a page, but not so overwhelming that it becomes frustrating. It strikes a really lovely balance.
So for anyone listening who's considering getting into adult colouring, or maybe they're a seasoned colourist looking for something new, something with a bit more bite, what's your ultimate take on Gothic enchantment?
My ultimate take? If you're ready to adventure into the depths of your imagination, as the book suggests, and you have an appreciation for Gothic aesthetics, dark fantasy, and genuinely beautiful, intricate artwork, then this book is an absolute must-have. It's more than just a coloring book, it's an experience. It's a portal to another world, and you get to be the one to give it color and life.
Wow, Angela, that's high praise, and I completely echo it. I've had such a wonderful time exploring the few pages I've started. It really does offer a unique blend of relaxation, artistic challenge, and pure imaginative escapism. So if you're curious about Gothic enchantment, dark fantasy adult colouring book with haunting castles and mysterious creatures by Ava Mixon, we highly recommend checking it out.
You won't regret it. Prepare to get lost in a beautifully shadowy world, in the best possible way.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone, and thanks, Angela, for sharing your insights on this truly captivating book. We'll catch you next time.